All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and go with lesson 6, compound inequalities. So, the inequalities you have seen so far are simple inequalities. When two simple inequalities are combined into one statement by the words and, or, the result is called a compound inequality. So, we're going to talk about and first, and inequalities. Okay, so the value of a variable is between two numbers. Okay, that's important. The value of the variable is between two numbers. The inequality may be written in two ways. Two separate inequalities joined by the words and, or also we can write it with written as one expression including two inequality symbols. A graph where two inequalities overlap. I'm going to show you what we're talking about. Let's look at the first one. First example says x is greater than 2 and x is less than 6. That can be joined. Look at the way I read it. X is greater than 2 and x is less than 6. So I'm going to put x. X is what? Greater than 2. So I put the 2 here. I put the 6 here. X is greater than 2. Well, greater. X is greater than 2 and less than 6. In words, this is the way you write it. X is greater than 2 and less than 6. And how would you graph that? Okay, the way you would graph it is, I'm just going to go ahead and write, let's say, I'm not going to make it like specific in terms of, I'm just going to put right here, I'm going to put this as 2, I'm going to put this as 6. I'm not going to count the distance between them. It's no big deal right now. I just want you to show you how it works. Well, because, going back to the other lesson, because it's not equal to, I'm going to do open circle, open circle. Look at this. So let's read it. X is greater than 2. Well, if this is 2, everybody in this side is greater than 2. So then I would shade this side. And x is less than 6. Well, this is 6, everybody in this side. So therefore, all of this would be the answer. You would shade all of this. Let me go ahead and highlight it so you guys, this is a part that would be shaded. So, one way to remind you guys, write this. When it's and, you always shade the inside. Okay, now, you guys are going to go ahead and work this. You're going to do this like the I do, we do, and you do. That's the part you're going to do. Let's go ahead and move up now. So next part. Next part is, let me see, I'm trying to adjust it here. We're going to go ahead and move on to or. Okay? Or says the value of a variable falls in either two separate inequalities. It usually looks like arrows pointing opposite directions. Shaded on the number line. When shaded on the graph or number line, inequality is written in only one way. Two separate inequalities joined by the word and. So here, this one, we don't have to do anything to it. It's already done because this is the only way you can write something like this. X is less than 2 or x is greater than 6. Well, how would you write it? Look at the way I said it. X is less than 2 or greater. Or I guess I can say or x is greater than 6. How would you graph that? Okay, once again, I'm just going to put here, I'm going to put this is 2 and this is 6. I don't care about the distance right now. I just want you guys get a better feeling. Well, once again, because this is not equal, I'm going to do open circle, open circle. But look at this. X is less than 2. Is everybody here less than 2? No, it's greater. So then you shade the opposite. O sea, you shade on this side. What about 6? It says x is greater than 6. Is this greater than 6? No. Then you shade this side. And I'm going to highlight it so you guys can see what I shaded. I shaded this side and I shaded this side. Well, so now when it's or, guys, just remember, or you shade the outside. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to work the back part now. Okay, so let's get started. How do I solve a compound inequality? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and solve. I'm going to solve this one. Now, there's going to be a little mistake here, so I'm going to fix it. I'm going to change these. They're going to be, instead of greater than, this is going to be less than. So this was a mistake there. And this one is going to be less than or equal to. Okay, so we're just going to, this is the way we're going to work this one out. Okay, so pay attention. This is going to be very, very interesting. All right, so here we go. So how do you solve this one? Okay, look at this, guys. We have negative 10 times x minus 5 is greater than 5 and less than or equal to 12. Okay, beautiful. So what are we going to do? So this is what you're going to do. Okay, ready? When you get something like this, you're going to go ahead. First thing we should do is simplify the middle part, distributive property, if we can. So I'm going to rewrite it. It's going to be negative 10 times x is negative 10x. Negative 10 times 6 is positive 60. And then it's less than or equal to 12. Okay, guys. So pay attention. Ready? Look at what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to block this off. And what do I have? Well, I have 5 is less than negative 10x plus 60. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to solve this one. I'm going to solve it how? By treating it like an equation. So how do we solve this? We get rid of the number farthest away. How do we do that? Negative 60, and we're going to get, this cancels. We're going to get negative 55. Okay, greater than what? Negative 10x. Now, negative 10x is greater than negative 55. We want to solve for x, so we get rid of the 10, negative 10, by doing the opposite. We're multiplying. Opposite is negative 10, cancel. So what is the answer? X is, alert, alert, alert. We divided by negative, so instead of a greater than, there's going to be a less than, what? Negative 5.5. So x is less than negative 5.5. Okay, now, next part. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do the other part, and I'm going to go ahead and block now this part, and I'm going to solve like another inequality. So I'm going to write it over here somewhere. I'm going to pretend I don't see that. And I'll be negative 10x plus 60 is less than or equal to 12. How do we solve this, Mr. Carrillo? How do we solve it? Once again, you solve it like an inequality. You solve it, we treat it like an equation. And what do? We get rid of the number farthest away. Minus 60, this cancels. Negative 10x is less than or equal to 12 minus 60 is 48. Negative 48. You know what? I made a mistake. I think I made a mistake over here. Yes, I made a mistake. Good thing I noticed. A negative and a negative becomes a positive. So this is going to be a positive 5.5. There we go. So what do? We're going to divide by negative 10. We're going to divide by negative 10. Hey, alert, alert. I'm dividing by negative. So then I flip the sign. So x is going to be what? Greater than or equal to what? 4.8. Ready? All right. So look at what it's saying. I'm going to put it from least to greatest. So I'm going to put 4.8 here. More or less. And I'm going to put 5.5 over here on this side. Okay? Don't worry about the spaces. What does it say? It says x is what? Greater than or equal to. Okay, so I'm going to put a solid circle. And on this side it says what? X is what? Less than 5.5. But it's an open circle. So look, x is greater than. Well, greater is this way. And x is less than 5.5 is going this way. So we're going to shade the middle. we're going to shade the middle. Okay? Next. Okay, so what I'm going to want from you guys, I want you guys to go ahead and solve. You guys are going to go ahead and work this one out, okay? Go ahead and work this one out as a problem. Okay, here we go. I just did one. Let me see if I can do this really quick because of time purposes. It's already 10 minutes right now. Let me see if I can hurry up because I still have a lot of stuff I got to cover. So, you know what? Just for time purposes, I'm just gonna let you do this one and just take notes on that one, and then I'll finish these in class. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and do. I'm gonna let you guys have this one for like practice, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and work out this example. Now I noticed a mistake here too, so I'm just gonna change it. It's gonna be less than or equal to. Get rid of that one, and this one, get rid of it, and I'm gonna make it greater than. All right. So this one is actually easier, guys, because it's or. So then how do you do that? How do we do that, Mr. Carrillo? Just treat it like a regular. So I'm going to rewrite it. First thing I should do is get rid of the parentheses. So ignore that one. I'm just going to solve this one. So I'm going to do the distributive property. Boom, boom, boom. So it'll be 3x plus 18 minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. I want to solve for x. I subtract, right? I'm sorry, that's a 1, not a 7. So I combine like terms. These are constant. So it's going to be 3x plus 17 is less than or equal to. We're going to treat it like an equation, of course, but less than or equal to what? 0. I want to solve for x. We get rid of the number farthest away. Minus 17. Boom, boom, boom. This cancels. So 3x is less than or equal to negative 17. We divide by 3. X is less than or equal to negative 17 over 3. Okay. Which comes out to approximately 5 2/3 negative. Now, what do we do next, Mr. Carrillo? Well, now you cover this one if you want to. Now, just take care of that one. Okay, so I'm going to write it over here. X over 5 minus 3 is greater than 4. Okay, how do we solve this? Well, get rid of the number farthest away. We're going to treat it like an equation. What number is that? Minus 3. How do we get rid of minus 3? Well, plus 3. Cancel. What do we have? X over 5 is greater than 7. Now, I want to leave x by itself, so I'm dividing. What is the opposite of dividing? Multiply. So I multiply by 5. Cancel, remember, because it becomes a 1. So guess what? X is greater than 35. So there it is, guys. X is less than or equal to negative 5 2/3, and x is greater than 35. So I'm going to go and put it here. Negative 5 2/3, and I'm going to put 35 over here. Don't worry about the distance, but I'm putting from least to greatest. What type of circle is this going to be? It's going to be a solid circle, and on this one is going to be an open circle because it doesn't have the equal sign. Well, look, guys, x is less. Less is this way, so I shade this side. And on this one, it says x is what? Greater than 35. Greater is this way, so I shade. So let me go ahead and put here and here. All right. So do this one for homework, and then I'll take care of this one in class. All right? Here we go. Last page. Here it is. This should be easy, guys. I'm going to work them both real quick. It says, hey, give me the inequality. Now they gave us the graph. Give me the inequality. So look, because it's shaded in, I know it's going to be an and, so I'm going to start with x in the middle. Okay? And then what? X is what? Oh, look at this. This is a solid circle, so I know. So let's think about it. If this is negative 1, everybody over here is what? Greater, so it's going to be greater than or equal to who? Negative 1. If this is 2, but it's an open circle, everybody on this side is what compared to 2? Well, less than. So I put less than, not equal to, because it's less than 2, and that's the answer. Okay, I know I went kind of fast, but just go ahead, go back and look at the video. Now, here we go on this one. On this one, what does it say? It says x is what? This is when they're shading outside, guys, it's going to be an or. So you can start like this. So x is what? everybody's going this way, so x is less than 8. How come I didn't put a little line? It's an open circle. And on this side, x is what? Greater than or equal to 14. That's the way you do those. All right. And there it is. Let's go ahead and move on because I want to make sure, try to keep it short. So I'm going to help you on this one because this is one of the most complicated ones. I'm going to try to do a couple. So here it is. Each type of fish thrives in a specific range of temperatures. Guys, keywords. If you don't know a word, look it up on the internet. Thrive means they do good. Specific range. Range is like it's telling you from here to here, a range. The optimum temperature for sharks range from 18 degrees to 22 degrees Celsius. In other words, guys, they want to be, and they do good, they thrive, they do good between 18 degrees Celsius and 22 degrees Celsius. It says right in inequality that represents the data that will not, the shark will not thrive. Well, if they thrive at 18, will they thrive at 17 or 16 or 15? No. Well, what about 22? 23. Would it thrive at 23? No. 24? No. 25? No. Okay, so the key word here is range. So then, look guys, I'm going to put 18 here, and I'm going to put 22. Now, they're asking us, what is the range that they will not thrive? Well, they will not thrive all the way over here, all of this. They will thrive at 18, so I'm going to put an open circle because if I put a solid, that's including. So they would thrive at 18, that's why I'm going to put an open circle. But they would not thrive this way. What about the 22? Well, open circle, and they would not thrive at 23, 24, 25, and so forth, so on. And that's the answer for that one. Now, how would you write that? How would you write that? I did the graph first so you guys can see it. Well, you would say x has to be less than 18, or x has to be greater than 22, and that's where they will not thrive. Okay. I'm going to do one last one because I know it's a lot. So let's go ahead and do number 3. I'm going to do number 3, and then I'm going to give you one for practice for yourselves. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do number 3. Number 3 says x less than a number. Well, I'm going to write it x is 9 less than a number. You write it x minus 9. It's no more than 8. No more. So can it be 9? No. So it has to be less than 8. So it has to be less than or equal to 8. And what? It's no less than 3. Well, that means can it be less than 3? No. So can it be 2? No. Can it be 4? Yes. So that means it has to be greater than or equal to 3. So what's some of the key words here? Well, it's given us right here. No more than, less than. The inequality, guys, would look like this. This, you put it in the middle, and has to be less than or equal to 8. And, since it's an and, that's why it's going to look like this. And, greater than or equal to 3. Now, how do you graph it? Well, you need to actually solve it. Just for time purposes, I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer. 12 and 17. Solid circles, solid circles. Since it's an and, we shade the inside because whenever it's an and, we always shade the inside, and that's going to be it. I know I went fast, a little bit fast on this one, but okay, guys. So go ahead on this one. Just go ahead and do number 2, and I'll do the other one. All right, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.